Hey, what do you think about that stuff? Like that? When we went down and got this thing, or actually went down to look at it, we checked the oil. What was on the stick looked good, about the right amount. Well, apparently in the last few years, with all the rain we've had and where it was sitting, I wouldn't have thought that it would have filled it full. But the other wonderful thing about this part of the country is condensation. You get an engine that doesn't get run for a while, and the oil kind of comes off the bottom of the valve cover, and then it just sits there and condenses anyway. If it's sitting outside, inside, not so bad. Just being under a roof helps it. So, yeah, about 2 gallons of water came out, then the oil came out. So I can't dump that in the oil barrel. Yay. And the fun part, right there, I got the nuts off. The nuts at the axle end are kind of buggered up. They're not buggered up. They're just not going to move. They're going to have to get cut out. But here's what I was just weaseling around with. If I can get this back in here. Oh, sure. Now I can't get it in where I had it. I was on the other side, I guess. I'm putting enough force on there to pop that sucker right off. All I'm doing is shoving the engine forward. So the slide froze up. And I really didn't want to butcher this driveline up. I mean, I got pieces of driveline for lots of things around here. I've made a lot of drivelines. I can, I got enough stuff I can almost make a driveline for anything I need to. So I don't want to screw it up. But if I can't get it apart right there, that means it gets a torch right there. So I guess that's what you're going to get for now. Number one's she's out back trying to find some more blocks, since we are a little block short around the shop anymore. They get used everywhere else and don't get brought back. That's where you got to pull the tires and wheels off skid steer, and I want to get in this morning before it gets too late and get the new shoes put on it. Tomorrow, hopefully, I have somebody to help spread some straw, and I gotta get it to walk into the cow barn where it's pretty nasty, and number one couldn't get it in there last weekend. She got half a section in, and that's where she had to dump the bale. Granted, she doesn't have the experience weaseling around in that stuff, but still, bald tires are bald tires, and the fronts are smooth, and the backs may as well be smooth. So anyway, that's what's happening today. It's Friday. Must be the 10th. And let's see, it says it's 9 o'clock, so hopefully I'll actually have some progress to show next time I turn this on. I want to get that thing out from underneath it. And I think I'm going to see if number one will put her earplugs in and sit here with the needle scaler for a while. And I get that. I just kind of decided, I think what we're going to do, rather than just unbolt the cab off the platform, I think we may just take the whole platform off, cut it off right at the frame, and start over. I'm still not sure about using this cab, so, I got another cab I can use, and I got a friend who's got one that's on a bigger buggy that they were rebuilding before his dad passed away and they quit farming. It's got a 8200 or 8400 Heston Swather cab. He told me the other day, he says, "Oh, you should have told me you could sell you the old man's rig we were building." But I don't really want it. It's got, it's one that was built in the 70s or 80s. I guess it was built in the early 80s. It's got 66s on it. The only thing it's got is the wide tires for it. And the frame is about 18 or 24 inches deep. It's just way too freaking heavy. So, and hopefully this one's going to be light enough, especially on the front. The only thing I have heard about Wolverines is their bigger buggies were heavy on the front. And, it's kind of hard to get your weight balanced and make everything work. We could slide everything back and have a long front on it, get the weight shifted to the back, but it's kind of nice being able to see what direction you turn. I have that issue once in a while on the other one. It's just because we set kind of right up on it. And on it, it's got an arm up above rather than a steering cylinder like this one. It's got a cylinder up above that goes right into here, into the axle and down. And I can see that. I've thought about putting a pointer on it just so I remember which way I'm going. Anyway, we'll get some more. God, that was priceless. Number two and I are talking, and I turn on the camera and I put it right at her, and she went totally speechless. That never happens. We're just discussing the road's flooded over down here to the north of us. She needs to make sure and let her mother know that because they both leave in the dark.
And I figured if you do, she can take my car.
And her, number one and number two both drive Tahoes, and my wife drives Equinox. They don't handle too much water too good. And of course, number two is going, well, she can take my car and I can take your pickup. She just likes to put miles on my pickup. Haven't even touched this thing today. It's Sunday. She touched it for me. 4:30 in the afternoon. We got her that far yesterday. My plan today, amongst unloading the hay truck and getting some cows fed, was to pick up the back of this thing, throw some air in that front tire again, and drag it back where I can get to it from the side to get to the cab, and cut her off and get it off, and then kind of do the same thing to get the engine out. But we still gotta, I don't even know if there's anything in the radiator. I know there's nothing in the top. It could be clear empty, and that's fine. Save me making a mess. But I figured she's wiping cow slobber on me.
With grain mixed in.
With grain mixed in. Yeah, perfect. I figured I'd get this much. I got another video I'm going to put it with. Still a couple things. Switches are still on the side of that console, and still a couple hydraulic lines off the steering cylinder. But she's asking why that clamp is there. Because the triangle plate was still on the side of that piece. And yesterday when we took the rear end out, I buzzed that off. So
you just left it
because that's garbage for the most part. And yes, I just left it there. She's upset because I did. You're going to say the cow that we had the vet out for, that was the 8th he was out. And he didn't find anything then. And of course, we'd given some Banamine about 6 hours before he got here. Number one's mess on the floor, by the way, so I got to watch where I walk, or that stuff goes everywhere. Given the fact that we give Banamine for the swelling on her face and for the temperature she had, his boss is the one that come out last night. He was the one on call this weekend, and he was a little bit busier than I don't know what. He was going to get here about 7 o'clock last night. He actually got here about 6:30, so he didn't get out here till after 7. He figured it out. She apparently has a bleed either in the small intestine or in the abomasum. So now she's on meds for that. Give her 4 boluses twice a day, 4 boluses twice a day and a shot of thiamine once a day to help take care of that and keep him posted. And she was in much better shape this morning than she was last night, so we're on the right track again. So that's an update on her. And I don't know, all these different weather apps on the phone. Number one said before she left early today that, there's going to be snow by 4 o'clock in the morning. And
they just changed it again. It's rain at 6 p.m.
Number two was saying snow at 6 p.m. And now she just said they changed it and it's supposed to rain again at 6 p.m.
Pretty much rain all tomorrow.
Yeah, rain all tomorrow. Yay. That's all right.
Snow Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, now they bumped the snow back to Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So instead of getting it Monday, who knows?
Possibly Friday.
They don't know. It's Oregon. We find out what we got when it's here. If you can see it coming, you know what you're going to get in 5 minutes. Unless it turns directions, then you get something else in 10 minutes. Anyway, that's our. Oh, she says where number one lives, she'll probably have snow tonight. That's okay.
Snow all through tomorrow.
Yeah, I figured they get snow up there. She's to the north of us and a little higher elevation. They're what, almost 30 miles north of us, and we're at, I think the elevation right here where we are at is like 160 feet, something like that, from sea level. Where they're at 700 or 800 feet anyway, and my in-laws are up at about 1,200 feet. But if they call for snow at 2,000 feet or 2,400 feet, they have snow. So anyway, a lot of you have snow. A lot of you got snow and then it melted, and now you got a bunch of slop with snow coming in on top of it. You gotta love that stuff. Oh, number two just said we're at 194 feet. Yeah, I don't know if that's her phone telling her that or that's Google telling her that. So who knows? I once looked at a piece of property that the elevation was 68 feet. And they said, oh, that'll flood. Funny thing, it was the high spot where it was at. Nothing around it had ever been flooded. It's all on how the water runs. So, okay, I'm cold. I'm tired. It was a long day early. Between getting stuff done and that reminds me, I still got to check on a battery. That little white 1-ton flatbed had a low battery before, and then we found out that the brake lights were coming on their own after you were out of the truck. And number one parked it back in the shed and says, oh, the brake lights weren't on, it's all good. And I'm going, yeah, it was gonna work on it, but I can't work on it back there. So battery was deader than dead. And I thought, okay, I got a good battery here, I'll go swap it. Yeah, the cables that are on there, the positive cable just barely makes it to the corner of the battery that was in it, and the post was right on the edge. The other battery I got's an Optima, and the post isn't that close to the edge. The cable's about 3 inches too short, no matter which direction I put the battery. So I've got the one I took out of it today is sitting on a charger. See if it'll fry its way back up and work. I don't think it was the battery before. I think it's all in the truck. Yay. Maybe that truck will be the donor for the power plant, but I really don't want a 454 with a serpentine belt that you can't stop the squeak on. I'd rather have something with V-belts, and I don't feel like spending that much time at a junkyard finding pulleys. So, anyway, you know the story. Oh, she turned the lights out on me. I'm scared of the dark. But did you notice the crack under the door?
You are.
Yeah, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate that if you do. Ring the bell if you want to hear about it every time I put something on. I'll let you know sometime between instantly and 2 or 3 hours later. That's how I find out about everybody I'm subbed to. And some of them give me hell because I put that on 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, they just told me. Even though I rung the bell. And yeah, I know, I'm hiding back here in the fridge. Number one made some cookies yesterday and brought them this morning. I had one. I was good. I only had one. And I think we got a mouse running around in here somewhere again. So I didn't want to leave those sitting here on the bench and come in and find a hole and a little fuzzy spot in it in the morning. Because that's what they do. All the junk in here, that black thing. Anybody recognize that? That is a genuine John Deere tractor toolbox. That used to be affectionately called the cookie jar. Because if you brought any food in here, you threw it in there. The mice can't get in it. Oh boy, there'd be mice poop all the way around it. Yeah, make myself laugh. Okay, I'll let you go. I'll get this up. Y'all can enjoy. And yeah, I might see if I can make a couple phone calls tomorrow. Call one of the truck wrecking yards that we've done a lot of business with, and they usually don't have anything small enough to go in here, but once in a while they get something. See if they got anything to fit this, or to, something light enough to do what I want to do. Okay, thanks for watching.